Hi everyone and welcome to Kathashtakam's World Storytelling Day. My story for you today is called How the Moon Was Made. It's an old Maori folktale. Once upon a time, a really long time ago, there was no moon in our skies. There was only the sun that rose every morning and spread sunshine all around. And when the sun set, it plunged the earth into darkness. No one could see by night, it was pitch dark. In these times, there lived two best friends, two girls. One was called Shining Eyes and the other was called Rippling Hair. And they were really good friends and they would do anything for each other. But one day, Rippling Hair saw that Shining Eyes did not seem too happy. And Shining Eyes revealed what was bothering her. She said that she had heard about this magical fire, the fire that never went out. And she was so enthralled by it that she just couldn't stop thinking about it. And she told Rippling Hair, I have to go and get that fire for the world. Because if you have fire that never goes out, it means unending life. I have to get this for my people. And Rippling Hair told her, but the journey would be so dangerous. That fire, it exists in the underworld and it's protected by these fierce old spirits. They will certainly put you to death. I can't let you go, my friend. And Shining Eyes said, come with me. Come with me. Let us journey together and bring the fire that never goes out. And Rippling Hair was still not convinced. But then Shining Eyes had an idea. She told her, why don't we take a big basket of the sweet Kumara fruit? I'm sure those spirits have never had any earth fruit before and that could distract them. And then we can snatch one of the fire sticks and run back into our world. And this was agreed upon. And the girls journeyed, and it was a very dangerous journey. They journeyed through plains and through bushland and through mountainous regions. And every insect and every bird and every tree and every bramble and every bush kept whispering to them, turn back, turn back. This is too dangerous what you're trying to do. Turn back. But the girls did not turn back and they went on and walked on and on and on until they reached the end of the land. And at the end of the land, there was a nice cliff with a steep drop down to the huge ocean below. And a tree stood right at that cliff, a huge tree with crimson red flowers. And the twisty roots of the tree led all the way down to the beach. And Shining Eyes said, I know that the opening to the underworld is at the bottom, near the bottom of those roots. Let's climb down. So they climbed down and down and down along those twisty roots, all the way down to the beach. And they found that opening and they went in. It was a really dark, long passage. And they walked and walked and walked until they could see a glimmer of light in the distance. And they knew they were getting close to the fire that never goes out. So they went very softly. And when they peeked at the end of the passage, they saw a big plain with a fire right in the middle made by 3 fire sticks with spirits sitting around guarding that fire. And they crept up really slowly to the fire and just then the spirits saw them. Mortals! They shrieked. And Shining Eyes held out that basket of Kumara fruit and said, we come bearing you a gift. The sweet fruit of earth, the Kumara fruit. Please have some. And the spirits were so shocked at her boldness that they just followed what she said and they took the basket and looked at the fruit and started eating that yummy, sweet, juicy fruit. And while they were thus distracted, Shining Eyes stooped low and she picked up one fire stick and she and Rippling Hair dashed for the entrance and through the passage. And just as they were entering that passage, they heard shrieks of anger and rage behind them. Their trick had been discovered and the spirits were after them. And they ran and they ran and they ran through that entire long passage. But this time, they had the fire stick with them. And they could see where they were going. So they rushed and rushed and rushed to the very end of the passage. And just as they reached the entrance, Rippling Hair jumped out because she was going ahead. And Shining Eyes, holding that fire stick, was right behind her. And she caught hold of her friend's hand. But a spirit had caught hold of her heel. And her friend, Rippling Hair, was pulling her up through the hole. And the spirit was pulling her down into the underworld. And she was caught between the two. Rippling Hair told her friend, "Throw the stick away, throw it down. Give me your other hand so I can pull you up into our world. Come now, I don't want to lose you." But Shining Eyes refused. She said, "I cannot drop the stick. After all of this, I just can't let it go." And do you know what she did? She hurled that fire stick up into the sky, out of the hole into our world, and up into the sky, thus freeing her hands. And Rippling Hair pulled her friend out, and they lay gasping and panting on that beach. And the spirits, enraged, still couldn't come up into our world, and so they turned and ran back shrieking into the underworld. And the girls lay there, watching that stick that Shining Eyes had thrown. It was twirling and twirling and twisting and whirling until it became a ball of fire. And Rangi, the sky god, saw it. And he put out a hand and he picked up that ball and he fitted it in a niche in the sky. And he sent a message to the girls via the north wind saying, "Your brave deed will not be forgotten. Now men will be able to see by night, by the light of this fireball. I cannot give it to you because unending life is not for people of the earth, but they will now have light at night. Go home." And the girls did. They went home and they were applauded and loved by all their family and friends for having given them light at night. And that light still shines in our skies. We call it the moon. And that was the folktale, a Maori folktale from a very long time ago. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Stay tuned for more at Kathashtakam. Happy storytelling, everyone. Bye.